All right, peace, peace, peace. Well, first and foremost, hopefully the Most High in your house shall blesses your day. By His mercies you are consumed. We're alive and Most High in your house's body, and two are naturally alive, man. Honestly, man. Yeah, we got. Let me talk about this too. Let's talk about this. You know, because we kind of, especially brothers, we got to stop this. Like and I know it's. Cause I was just thinking, I don't know why I was just thinking about this song, but it had a conversation like this as people, honestly, but especially men, honestly, because it's like that, but when you're not used to something, and that's just what you expect. You think that's normal, honestly. Like especially but then again, this is all about contention and strife. People that like to debate, argue, and things of that nature, man. But let's get this because today's 26, and we're gonna we're gonna grab this because I was reading Proverbs 26. It says, as coal as Proverbs 26:21, as coals are burning, as coals are burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man that kindles strife. The words of a talebearer as wounds, they go down to the innermost parts of the belly, which is the mind. So yeah, and but that's why other proverbs says, listen, get rid of the strife, get rid of the contention, person that causes contention, and all the strife will cease, man. Because there's people out there that's a lust for them. Like that's the one thing, big thing, lust that people had too. Always want to be right or arguing. They feed off that, man. This is really that's really evil spirit, and evil trait to have. But it's too but especially even this too, because even brothers, I get it, because that's what, see, the thing is too, both sides, men and women, we have to be trained up to be that, man. Especially that's what it is, and that's why certain times the level of compassion that Hebrew says those are without, or patience that we should have, and even I'm still developing, man. Or still the qualities that I don't have, man, because that wasn't given to me, because my pop was in and out of my life, man. So certain things I'm learning manhood through the Most High House's word, and also too other elders in my life and OGs taught me, even other teachers, even men in my family, even men out of my family around the way. All men I counsel, wise men, or men that gave me advice throughout my life, even to this day. So that's one thing too, but yeah, man. Even so, yeah, man. That's another thing too. Even same for sisters, man. But one thing too, we especially brother got stopped is, man. One that because it was the song. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the Neo song. I used to play all. They used to play all the time, like almost 19 years ago, 2006. That during that time when Neo was first coming out, because he came out a little bit after Chris Brown came out. That whole 2000s era, man. That whole era, of me growing up, man. That whole honestly, yeah, man, me coming up. But he had a song when you so damn when you're mad. Honestly, he says you're so damn sexy when you're mad. He said pretty much how much he wants that pleasure with her when she's mad. A lot of feeding off that when she gets angry, or the quote unquote angry sex type of thing, man. That has to stop, man, because what, my mom was actually my mom was telling me how she was having a conversation with somebody, and they said, listen, I like to argue. I don't mind the argument. And my mom was like, listen, and this is and plus my mom had her fair share. She got better at it over the years, but she had a lot of kind of like that, kind of some of the stuff, some of those qualities. I love my mom, but she was some of the qualities of, you know, the women that's mentioned in here. Honestly, gotta be honest, so the contentious woman. You kind of see the rebellion type. But yeah, she was you know my mom. I love my mom. She is a good person. I'll say, even if she wasn't my mom, I would still rock with her, because she, one thing I do, the gift that she do have, honestly, is I learned, if anything I learned from my mom, is to read people, honestly. Certain things I miss, but she's really good. Her, my brother, even my homie, they're really good at reading people, and some other people. But yeah, man, that discerning spirits. But yeah. But anyway, she said, and she was like, at this point, I'm trying to be at peace. I'm not trying to argue with nobody, and especially as men, we shouldn't want that, man, because you know what it is too. But see, when you're raised, when we come up in certain environments, we think that stuff is normal. So when that's taboo, that's why when you show love, honestly, especially love without dissimulation, even to your brothers and sisters, or to a stranger, when you're not accustomed to that, and you think it's no, and I get it. Why? Because we live in a world with a lot of gal in the sea. People have ulterior motives and agendas. So we and plus being from different backgrounds, come from different places, in the world. So especially here in this part of the Western world, different like coming up in the streets or like there are different parts or betrayal has happened to people or especially about loved ones and nobody loved them. Saying so when you come up with something absent or something, you'll think when somebody's actually giving that to you with no ulterior motive, guile or deceit, you think it's taboo, so you don't know how to accept it. So that's why. And some people they just don't want it. Some people wicked as hell. So that's why. That's another reason why. But but that's not normal, man. So like especially that's an agent of chaos, like and that's really the reason why the word says a wicked man is given to. I mean, a wicked woman is given to a wicked man, because like if you a lot of times too you get that honestly, like when you like especially a man like I like her like to argue with me and stuff like that. Because I remember watching video and there was a brother, it was a Jake talking like that. He said, man, like, I don't want a woman that's like kind of does what I say things and then no argue with me this and that. It's like, but you could tell he didn't come up in that, so he think that's normal. Or one, or two, he might have come up in a loving environment with both a father and mother, both parents or loved ones, or but he dislikes that. So it's either or. But yeah, especially as men, even so much of women, he kind of like not even some sisters I met, they don't like that. They don't do all that stuff. But but it's more inclined like throughout my lifetime with women, they like to do that. That's just some of it's in their nature. Not all of them, but a big bulk load of them. Honestly, it's in the 90% range. Honestly, but But then again, it's not really too much gender thing. I just noticed in my lifetime through, there's a lot of women more. But then again, it's a lot of like but it's heightened now, man, because a lot of times how the modern man is acting, especially modern Jake, like is acting, man. But it's good because we're not being trained up that way. But this, especially the man in the Western Hemisphere, man, it's really sad. But but yeah, man. But anyway, man, too, it's just the fact that then again, you have to have compassion with those because they. Because they're without, so to a degree. But then again, it's times all right, man. It's ridiculous, but that's just what it is. But especially as men, man, we shouldn't be one that, man. Like a woman to argue with them and argue with you and this and that, contention, strife, yeah, man. But then again, that's where that comes into, or you might just be an agent of chaos yourself. But also too, man, that's why even it says that Ecclesiastes Sirach 7, man, because notice too that it's like that Life Jennings song, man, must be nice. That's the point of that song. We're gonna get there after that. Like don't leave it for the light one, but we're gonna talk about that after. Let's grab this real quick, man. Yeah. Ecclesiastes, also on Sirach chapter 37, and let's grab this. I was at 22:32. Hold on. My bad, y'all. Dang, where is it? I can't find it. A wicked woman is given. I haven't read it in a while. A wicked woman is given to a wicked man. Yeah, honestly. Hold on, y'all. Yo, I can't find it. I'm mad I can't find it because I probably haven't read it in a while. But this is all good. Yeah, man. But anyway, too. But let's get this in Sirach 7 verse 24, man, because yeah, this is honestly too. We talk about this a lot of times too. Like this is not really this is a really thing, a hearts and men thing, a people thing. But let's grab this too. Ecclesiastes also known Sirach chapter 24, 7 verse 24. It says, Has thou daughters have carried their bodies, and shew not thyself cheerful to them? Okay, yeah, okay, verse 26, that's talking about something else. But it says, Hast thou have a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman. So see, now spiritually, he's talking about playing some damn little baby, but Anyway, but spiritually, that's to go into like a mind like according to Most High Yahshua's mind like David, honestly being one with them, honestly too. That's why even in the law, even in Sirach, it says like especially if you have a mind according to their mind, according to the Most High Yahshua's mind, you'll never be forsaken. That's why it says Deuteronomy 31:6, I'll never forsake you. Sirach 2:10, who has he ever called upon the name of the Lord? Like that name is Exodus 34:6, Jeremiah 9:24, Numbers 14:18. Usually I say in order, but it is what it is. But yeah, he called that. That's what the name contains. Whoever like called and live like, and that's more than saying the name, but just living according to those promises or having faith in them and who they forsaken. Man, that's the one reason. That's just spiritually. That's what it's saying. But on the natural tip, man, hast thou, Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach chapter 7, verse 26, hast thou have a wife after thy mind, forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman. That's kind of going to like the Life Jennings songs, like, must be nice, man. Well, like he says, even when those rims start spinning, like she'll still be with you during the side when every people be like, leave you. These certain times you have a small percent. You have a small percent of people that's gonna be like that, but especially for a woman that is a survivalist by nature, that's rare. So don't forsake her, man. That's just going to this. Like you got a woman, like you got a woman like a good wife, man. Like in the word or out the word, man. Because I heard stories actually like this in the word, but I didn't know, but I heard stories about like God, or this probably happens in the word, even outside the word. Like you got a good wife, good woman, man. Like got a wife like Naomi, Susanna, Abigail, like Sarah, Rachel, Leah, all this type of stuff. You name the righteous woman, you got a wife like that. Like he leave for a damn Instagram model, video vixen, like the back in the day, or that's porn star, stuff like that. You deserve, or just even like an evil, wicked woman, just on go to your lust, and you deserve everything you get from that, man. You do that, man, you deserve everything you get from that, because the word tell you don't do that, man. Honestly, because yeah, that's just is what it is with that, man. You know, because I was about to, I can't say that too, because the Most High House I can do what they please, so I'm not gonna say that. Because I was gonna say that's like the because usually the Most High only the Most High House I can do that, especially pouring their spirit like into somebody, so I can't make that comparison. I was about to say something like I had to bridle my tongue and watch what I say, because I don't even know why. It was just gonna be bad comparison, but anyway, yeah, that's what it is, man. Because especially like with you in the word, especially in the word, out the word, man. You got an actual good woman, man. Don't forsake her for like that, man. Honestly, why would you do that? Like and that goes into go not after that lust, man, too. Because it's like especially like that, man. Because it's for a light woman, and it's saying the same thing as Proverbs, like women that's very like without discretion is like jewel and pigs. Now it's like honestly, it's like yeah, and yeah, and even think about that, because I used to go to agricultural school. Honestly, with Saul, agriculture school, one of the biggest in the country. Agriculture schools, especially high schools or schools in the country. Actually, and if y'all ever know the boxer like now, Jerron Boots Ennis, he went there. I was there, like I was in his gym class. We went to school during there too. But to think about this too, because even if you go to the zoo, or like if you go, or if you have land, or go to a farm, go to like that. Think about if you ever see a pig, man. Think about like when it says like that. Let's get that in Proverbs real quick, man. And also to that lines of what your house I said about pearls to swine. But yeah, Proverbs chapter 11 verse 22. It says, "As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, it is a fair woman without discretion." So see, yeah, just think about that real quick, because that's what it's saying with your house I said too about cats and pearls and swine. But that's why, because that's that in Jeremiah 6:2, Israel being that woman. That's why he said what he said too. But anyway, think about that, right? It's a jewel, and it's a nice diamond, or nice like whatever, man. Like nice diamond, nice jewel, nice gold, but it's in the pig snout though. Think about that. You gotta go you gotta get one, entertain the pig. Gotta go up the pig and try to grab it out. You know how much you gonna get through that, man. But you got it though. But look what it costs you though. Like because the pig can attack you, or like the pig could and also too, one thing too, the pig is unclean. Honestly, that's why in Maccabee, even in Isaiah, it says swine's flesh, and it says in Isaiah, and we know the whole story of Maccabees. The pig is unclean, so you're going messing with something unclean just to get something that you lust and that you desire. But meanwhile, the wisdom of the Most High house shots, they're like rubies and gold and stuff like that, and it's free, honestly. Yeah, so that's just is what it is. So you messing on that type of tip, you messing with that. Honestly, you going through all that, ain't about that process. Just to go to a pig and grab that, like try to get it, but you gotta go through. You just gonna go through all that just for that. Pretty much, that's what the word is saying. Especially for a woman like that, yeah, she looks good. How she looks and the body and the face and stuff like that. But it's yeah, it's not no. Yeah. It's I'm kind of cool on that, man. Because even Paul Pierce had it. We was gonna share the reel about he was kind of going on that, man. Because honestly, he says, listen, man, if you just get to because most of the women like that, they just yo, man, they be straight up oh my gosh, man, shoo, yeah. That's why it says the word always goes by don't off of appearance for men and women, honestly, too. How vain beauty is, as long as the man the man or woman fears the Most High in your house shop. But anyway, man, besides, the two pigs are very intelligent animals too. By the way, that's neither here nor there. Not do with the context of this, man. But yeah, man, that's just is what it is, though, man. So I just want to get to it. So all this want to argue or the agent, because yeah, that's why it says a wicked woman is given to a wicked man, because or this just is what it is, man. But sometimes you have you got situations like that. Woman, it's like Abigail in the ball situation. You got a good woman, but she's just with a wicked man, or got a certain times in certain times the men in the scriptures they were righteous, but then they had wicked wives per se, like Lot's or or Job's, honestly. But even with Job, because me reading between the lines too, me personally, I speak as man. I think it's they probably their faith got tested and they just turned on it. But that's still wicked by anyway, because still they could have believed and that faith got tried and they just didn't, or they could have been evil, wicked the whole time, and it's hey, it is what it is. That don't got nothing to do with the most. The righteous man or righteous woman too. So that's just what it is, man. So hopefully it's edifying, man. Much love to y'all brothers and sisters. So peace.